Yo, Beth, that shit crazy.
On Saturday, it's All Even with your boy Barry Grant. You can catch me on Instagram and Twitter at All Even Podcast. You can listen to the show on Podbeam as well as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. I'm all over the place, man. And trust me, go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment because the page is growing, baby. At All Even Wave. Get on that wave. Episode 91. We on that way to 100. Lots to get into. NBA Finals. We're going to talk about that and how I feel about the Bucks at this particular moment. Phone a Friend is back as well. And then the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week. So let's just jump right into it. There's a movie that I grew up watching called Roadhouse. I was a big Patrick Swayze fan. Rest in peace, Patrick Swayze. That was the dude. And in this movie, he plays like a well-renowned bouncer, controller of the club, making sure nothing happens, making sure the club is profitable, and it's, you know, he takes like the worst ones and turns it into something good, right? So he goes to Kansas City, this rundown club, and, he's doing his thing. So you got some guys that are in there that are, causing ruckus and all that. So Patrick decides to, Dalton was the name of his character. So Dalton goes over there and says, hey, listen, you guys can't be in here. If you can't calm down, you got to go. So one of the dudes says, well, we're just doing what everybody else is doing, man. We're just having fun. We're having a good time. So then Dalton says to them, you're too stupid to have a good time. And then a fight breaks out. He kicks their asses, throws them out of the club, and, the rest is history. I bring this up because the guys in the club remind me of Mike Budenholzer and the Milwaukee Bucks. You're too stupid to have a good time. Now, I'm not calling anybody in regards to intelligence stupid. I want to get that out there before everybody says, hey, my goodness, calling people stupid now. Like, no. Charles said it. I'm going to say it my way. The Milwaukee Bucks play stupid basketball. When you think that they have it all figured out in regards to being able to dominate the paint, drive to the basket, draw fouls, rotate on defense, do the little things that they need to do, they don't do. Drew Holiday's out there shooting threes like he's Steph Curry and can't bang any. Chris Middleton had a rough game in game 2. We understand that. Giannis had a great game. 42 points. He had 20 points in the third quarter. The most since Michael Jordan in an NBA final. So there were good things that happened. But the stupid basketball continued. Giannis shot 5 threes. Why do they feel that they have to shoot so many threes? And also, why does Coach Budenholzer believe that Brook Lopez should play any significant big-time minutes in this series? I'm not saying that he shouldn't play. I'm saying that he right now is not effective. He's getting beat on pick and rolls. Ayton is doing exactly what he wants to do down there. You have to switch it up. That's where the stupid line comes in, because your head coach is supposed to be able to put you in position to be able to execute the right way, the smart way. See where I'm getting at? They don't play smart basketball. They don't understand what's going on in regards to the importance of certain periods in the game. They just don't get it. Now, they started off game 2 very, very well, but they allowed Phoenix to just shoot the lights out from 3. At what point do you say, Brook Lopez can't be out here? We have to go to a different lineup, put Giannis at the 5, let him go against Ayton, go smaller, get more versatile on the wing. No, Coach Budget, okay, go out there, Brook. Go ahead, do what you got to do. I don't make adjustments over here. That's what I call stupid basketball. They've done it the entire postseason. They lucked out in Brooklyn because two of the stars got hurt, and they almost lost if it wasn't for Kevin Durant's big-ass foot. So this is what I'm saying, is that what they're doing in this series really isn't much different than what they've done in the previous series. They've played the same way. Stupid basketball. And they've lucked out to get to the NBA Finals. But guess what? They're playing a better team. They're playing a better coach team. They're playing a more motivated team. They're playing a team that's making adjustments quarter to quarter, end to end, making sure that they're understanding what's going on, keeping that other team off balance, keeping the Bucks off balance. They're doing that. Coach Bud, no, sitting on his hands. Yeah, I'm just going to throw Brooke out there. It's fine. It works. It does not. Bobby Portis needs to get more than 5 minutes in Game 2. Bobby Portis was very big in that Atlanta series to clinch the Eastern Conference Championship for the Bucks. He had 2 back-to-back really good games in 5 and 6. So why wouldn't you feel the need to play him in the NBA Finals? This is the thing that just, it puzzles me. Again, stupid basketball. So how are they going to be able to fix this? I don't really know. Phoenix did what they had to do. They held serve, right? Can this be a home series? Can Milwaukee go back to Milwaukee? We'll see tomorrow if they can be able to win Game 3 and then possibly win Game 4 and tie this up. It's possible. Stranger things have happened. I've called it the Bizarro playoffs for a reason. So would I be shocked? No, I wouldn't be shocked. But I would be surprised, because that would mean that Coach Bud would have to make adjustments that he hasn't made this entire postseason. Hell, for the last 3 years for this team. So that would surprise me, because the Milwaukee Bucks over the last 3 seasons in the playoffs have played stupid basketball. You got a head coach that's playing checkers with a chess player. Monty Williams is a chess player. He's playing this masterfully. And if they don't get their act together, this series is going to be over before we even realize. Stop taking so many stupid threes. Start making some adjustments. Go smaller. Put Giannis at the 5. Do something different. Because if you don't, you're going to get kicked out of the NBA Finals. Just like how Dalton threw out those guys out the club. Because the team played too stupid to have a good time. Coming up after the break, phone a friend with my boy Keith on a Saturday. It's all even.
Yo, it's your man DJ G Money from that Flip the Script podcast. You see it? We in the studio right now. Flip, shut up. Yeah. Whoa, listen. Shout out to the All Even podcast. My man Barry Grant Jr. What's up, man? What happened? What you want to say to the people?
Shout out somebody else's podcast?
Yeah, my nigga the joint. What's up?
All Even.
All Even podcast.
Yo, it ain't even up here, boy. We put this, yo, what's up, man? All Even. Yo, oh my God. What's up with you, man? Now that's a shout out. You keeping this?
Yeah, keep all that. You want to jump
All
on
Even podcast, right?
Yeah, All
Shout out
Even.
to All Even podcast, right?
Yeah.
All Even? That's your man?
My man.
All right, shout out to All Even podcast. You cool?
100%. He cool. Is he cool? Let me see. Is he cool?
Yeah. What is it, G? Oh. Shout out, G.
He cool, man.
Welcome back, y'all. So now to my favorite segment, Phone a Friend.
Call him up, 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 call him up. Competing for a reason, trying to stay undefeated, yeah. Call him up, 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 call him up. Biggest game of the season, don't lie with all leaving, yeah.
Who we have on the show today is a very good friend of mine. I've pretty much known him all my life, which is very, very annoying. Since the time I was probably like 6, 7 years old. You know, I've seen him grow up. He's seen me grow up. We're old men now. We love sports still. We still argue about certain things. Welcome to the show, my man Keith.
Yes. Thank you, Barry. Thank you for having me. I've been paying attention to what you've been doing, and I gotta say that You're on the right track. You're doing some big things, man. I like it. I like it a lot.
I appreciate it, man. Don't a lot of the people talking about you keeping track of me, man. You don't watch my show. You don't watch my show, man. You don't watch my show.
You my guy, Barry. You my guy. You my guy.
Nah, definitely, man. So, I know that you're doing the real estate stuff. So, I want to give you a little time to plug that.
Sure. Yeah, I've been in real estate for, oh man, uh, I'd say 10 years now. Licensed in New York State, helping families, find their dreams. So, that's on soldbykeith.com. You can find me on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, website, Sold by Keith, helping investors, buyers, sellers, and anybody who's looking to learn anything about real estate. I'm always willing to answer any questions or help out any way that I can.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So, you've always been like a kind of like a go-getter type of guy. Like, you've always tried to put your name in the different hats and different things. So, do you feel that the real estate thing is something that you can really hang your hat on and say, this is the lane that I want to go into, or is it just one of the many things that you like to dabble in?
See, that's a mixed bag. Yes and no. So yes, I love real estate. I've always liked real estate just because of the different structures, the houses, the different things that people do when it comes to custom. I think I just saw like a back porch the other day that looked amazing.
Yeah.
There's always that part of it, the wealth building part of it. But at the same token, yes, I've always been somebody who's been on the go. So I do have a couple other things going on at the same time, but it just keeps me young.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've always called you an evil genius. That's pretty much what you are. You just always, it's like the what am I gonna do to take over the world type shit, you know what I mean? So nah, definitely, man. I always am very supportive of what you're doing, man. So, I hopefully you get one of those $15 million houses to sell so you can get that nice commission.
There's so much on the table, so much going on, but I appreciate that.
Nah, definitely, man, definitely. So let's get into some NBA talk, my man. We love the NBA. We argue about it. We've been playing 2K since 2K existed. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I got about like 90 championships. You got like 3.
A lot of the people now.
You know what I mean? But it's always a good back and forth. So, in your opinion,
those 3 burn, people. Those 3 burn. Don't let them hurt you.
Listen, man, all the championships that you won in 2K, I remember every single one of them. I remember the year. I remember what time it was. I remember what I was eating. I remember how you were sitting. I remember all of that stuff. So I don't forget.
Good times, man. Good times.
But based off these 2 games, what have you seen in regards to the Suns? What have you seen in regards to the Bucks? And do you think that this is going to be a long series either way, or do you feel that one team has the advantage over the other?
Well, it's funny. I thought that the Bucks had, somewhat an advantage of, being in this position over and over and over, year after year. And, this year being the year that they beat all of their quote unquote monsters. They beat the Heat, who, defeated them last year. They beat the Sixers. They beat, who else did they beat? They beat 3 teams that were nemesis of theirs coming along this journey. So
not the Sixers, not to say the Nets.
Oh yes, the Nets. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes, I meant to say the Nets. So, they've gone along this journey. I think beating KD was a big move, but it seems to be, it come into the book train. the book CP3, Ayton. These guys look amazing. I like what they've done. CP3's come in there and kind of really put these guys in a position to make everyone happy.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, so do you feel that the Suns now have the advantage? Like, if that's the case, do you think that this is going to be a short series, or you think that the Bucks can be able to extend it?
Now, I'm thinking that the Bucks are going to make an attempt. I think the Bucks are good for at least one, maybe 2 games. So I'll give you maybe 5. If the Suns in 4, we could, put that away.
Yeah.
I'd say 5, maybe 6, provided that these guys stay healthy and everything's going the way that it is. I don't know if they can be stopped right now. Giannis, he gave them everything they got the last game, and it seems like they can't even stop the other team. So I don't know. It's looking pretty bad for the Bucks right now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with the Bucks, what I've seen the entire season, what I've seen for 3 years, because I've been talking about it on this show for as long as I've had this show, which is, close to a year now. But, Coach Bud, he doesn't make adjustments. They're the same team that they are to start the game, to finish the game. He's not aware of what the hell is going on, and he's getting out coached by Monty Williams. Monty Williams is over there running laps around
coach.
him. Exactly. A phenomenal coach, fantastic coach. So that's one problem. The other problem that I have with this team is Jrue Holiday. I think Jrue Holiday has had a horrible playoff. This is his first extended run in the playoffs. It could be nerves. It could be the fact that he's just not that guy. I don't know. But I am sick and tired of seeing him hoist up threes like he's Steph Curry or Klay Thompson. Get to the basket, do something, create for your team. He was even missing layups too, so I can't even say go to the basket and try to score. Like, there's just a lot of mistakes that he makes. Now, defensively, he didn't play too bad, but do you feel that he can be able to turn his game around and possibly help the Bucks turn the series around?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big key. I think, going back into Milwaukee, you're going to need good games from Jrue Holiday, Chris Middleton. Those two are going to be really important, really big for the Bucks if they want to get back into the series.
Right.
And definitely the bench. Hopefully some more help off the bench to, create that offensive punch that they need. Right now, the Suns are just rolling them over, having 118 points in both games so far. So it's looking pretty bad right now. And like you said, Coach Bud, he doesn't have a history of making good adjustments. It doesn't, I'm not sure how much confidence I have in them, but, it's still pretty early in the series. I'm sure they're going to get a game or 2 in Milwaukee. I'm sure you're going to get at least one strong game out of Chris Middleton. He's been doing a decent job being, Batman and Robin with Giannis. So it's going to be interesting to see, but definitely Jrue Holiday is going to need a really big game. And also Chris Middleton. I think Chris Middleton is going to be the key.
Yeah, I ain't going to hold you, man. I ain't going to hold you, Keith. I think that if they lose this series, Jrue Holiday, Coach Budenholzer, they both need to go on the same bus getting out of town, because it's maybe Jrue stays. I'm trolling. I'm sure he's going to stay. He just signed a big extension with the team. He's not going anywhere, but Coach Bud, it's time for him to go, because they're not going to get any better under him. They have to get somebody else in there that has more experience than Coach Bud, that doesn't choke under the pressure like he does, because he did it in Atlanta. He's doing it here, and he'll do it somewhere else if he finds another job, because that these retread coaches always tend to get other jobs elsewhere, right? While the other guys tend to just kind of stay in assistant coaching mode. The other guys that I'm talking about in regards to complexion. You feel what I'm saying? So, I personally, I'm not putting a prediction on this series. That's why I asked you. I'm not doing it, because it's been the Bizarro playoffs. It's been the Twilight Zone playoffs, and I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it.
It's funny because, like I said, I thought I picked the Bucks coming in. I actually picked the Bucks because, Giannis, that's supposed to be an MVP, former MVP. And these guys, like I said, I thought that they've had that history. They got eliminated last year, got eliminated the year before, but they've been playing the same teams. They've had continuity. They added PJ Tucker. you know, they
Love
added Drew
preseason.
Holiday, you know, and right now they're just, you know, running into a situation where, you know, we're back into that point guard debate. CP3, Monty Williams, they're reopening that whole point guard debate to where, okay, you really need smart basketball minds, offensive minds, you know, around the organization to really be able to have some good offense, really good plays, especially when it comes down to the playoffs. You need guys that can get buckets, that can distribute, that could, you know, set everybody up, keep everybody in line, but, you know, motivated at the same time. It, you know, everything comes in play, whether it comes to point guards, it comes to the coaches. A lot of questions come in mind with Drew Holiday and Coach Bud.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's a great point that you made in regards to, you know, it's all about IQ. It's about having the right guy on the floor to be able to facilitate and dictate that offense, get guys involved, score when they need to, understand you know, certain times in the game, 2-minute drills. You know, there's a lot that goes into being the point guard and being Chris Paul and the responsibilities that he has. So it's very important to see, you're seeing one guy doing it right, you're seeing another guy who's not really a point guard, because the last couple of years in New Orleans, he was actually the off guard. So they took the ball out of his hands in regards to making decisions for the team and just said, yeah, go ahead and score, because you just turning the ball over. You really don't know how to set everybody up. So set yourself up. You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem, is that they've put him in a role that he really hasn't been in a few years. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look good for the Bucks, but here's the thing. Like I said, it's the bizarro playoffs. I would not be surprised if Milwaukee goes home and wins 2 straight games. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised, because these are how these playoffs have gone. You know
Chris Middleton was huge down in Brooklyn. So you know, who knows where this goes further into the series. But I can't say enough, man. CP3 is giving me Jason Kidd.
Come on. You gotta relax. You gotta relax.
All right.
You gotta relax.
I'll slow down.
You gotta relax.
It's only 2 games.
All right?
It's only 2 games.
You gotta relax, man. Y'all are prisoners of the moment with Chris Paul. I'm hearing people talk about, oh, you know, he's top 5. Like, come on, man. Come on. He's all right. But come on, just relax. Just relax.
Yeah, let's wait this out. Let him finish the job first before bizarro playoffs take over.
Now this was a question that I had asked on my last podcast on Tuesday. Who do you feel has the most to lose in these playoffs in regards to the finals? Do you think Chris Paul has more to lose, or do you think that Giannis has more to lose or more to prove? Not more to lose, but more to prove.
That's a great question. You said Giannis or CP3?
Right, more to prove.
I think it's got to be Giannis. You know, Giannis the last few years, you know, the Bucks they got Coach Bud. They've been top seed the last few years. CP3 is a guy who's been around the league and, you know, terrific player. He's brought in better situations in LA, New Orleans, LA Clippers.
Don't talk about the
Rockets.
No Clippers on the show.
Yeah, I figured that hit a nerve. But the Rockets, the Thunder, you know, I don't think he really has too much to lose here if he makes it through and doesn't complete it. But Giannis, former MVP, top seed in the East, you sign a Supermax, and to me, it almost seems more like, sometimes I watch these games and it almost seems like some of the other guys have more of an impact than he does sometimes. You know, he has 30 points, 40 points at the end of the game.
No, that's good. Okay, I like that take. So you're basically saying that it's like empty calorie statistics.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to take anything away from the guy. You know, he's phenomenal. You know, he's doing good for where he's come from. He's a raw athlete. He's gotten a little bit of handles. He's gotten somewhat of a jump shot
his
now.
handle is suspect, Keith. Suspect. he got worse handles than we do. You know what I mean? Like, no. And he's a professional basketball player. He should be embarrassed having that type of bop. He has.
It's true.
He don't even have a bop. He has no moves. No moves.
And I think that's really key here is for a guy to be a former MVP, to be on all these lights. He just signed a big Supermax deal. I think the lights are going to be on him heavy if he doesn't come through and at least win a game. It'd be pretty bad if CP3 would have came through the finals and didn't win a game at all, even though they're up 2-0 now.
Right.
But Giannis, it's going to really look bad if he can't make the type of impact that MVP should make, when it comes to the finals.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. I said the same thing on my show. I said that Giannis has more to prove because of all the points that you laid out. He's a 2-time MVP. They gave him the Defensive Player of the Year that I believe that should have been Anthony Davis's award. The Bucks were the number 1 seed the last few years in the Eastern Conference. They were the favorites to come out of the East and get to the finals. They did not do that. They came up short. Now he's in the NBA Finals. He's playing well. He scored the most points in a quarter since Michael Jordan in the NBA Finals. That's nothing to put down. That's an impressive accomplishment. But
no, absolutely.
A loss is a loss in the finals, and people kill LeBron for having 6 losses in the finals. Those losses pile up, and when they start to pile up, the criticism, it comes with it. And when you're supposed to be one of the top 3 players in this league, which he is, you are going to get criticized like LeBron James, like a Kevin Durant. Giannis is going to get that same type of vitriol and the same type of criticism. So I hope that he's prepared for that if they do lose this series, because that just comes with the territory. That thing that he does where, he gets a dunk and he puts the crown on his head. Okay, you want to do that, but you better be prepared for the scrutiny that comes with losing when you do things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's the biggest thing here. Being a former MVP, I think it's going to be, I think he would have suited more from a trade, with CP3 going to the Bucks. That would have been a huge thing. I think this whole series, the last few years, I think the outcome of this playoffs, it just shows that he needs a playmaker around him to really kind of get him going. He's good on his own, and he he's making records, but I just don't have that strong, not taking anything away from him, but I see the eyes, man. The eyes tell it all. And sometimes he comes down and he's giving up the ball to Drew, he's giving up the ball to Chris, and it's like, listen, man, if you really want this, you gotta, you mentioned you're putting the crown on. You gotta really learn what it takes to get it done. Learn some post moves, man.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely needs a mid post game. He needs like a step back, one-legged fadeaway. He needs a jump hook. Certain things like that. If he's able to develop those things, because statistics say that he's the most dominant player in the paint since Shaquille O'Neal. That's great. But then you go out there and shoot 5 threes. I don't need you to shoot 5 threes when you can be able to dunk on everybody's head. It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a lot of things that he can definitely improve on. He's young enough to be able to add more things to his game as he gets a little older, but he's young, Keith, but he ain't that young. You understand what I'm saying? Like once you start to get MVPs under your belt, once you get a Defensive Player of the Year, once you elevate yourself to the top 5 players in this league, there are no excuses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to hear people, oh, well, the Bucks, they need more help. Giannis, no. I don't want to hear all that. No, because when LeBron James lost to Dallas in 2011, nobody was giving him none of that. They was trashing him because he had a bad playoff. He had a bad final. I need the same type of scrutiny for Giannis. And it's not the fact that I'm trying to compare. I'm just saying that when you're in that chair, you get
Yeah.
you get the same stones thrown at you. You feel what I'm saying? So
Oh, absolutely.
that's all I'm saying, man. But moving along, like what do you think the Bucks, like if the Bucks do lose, what do
Right.
you feel they need to improve on to get back to the NBA Finals and possibly win next time? Because obviously the Eastern Conference, I can see the Bucks still being a dominant team in the Eastern Conference next season and probably for
Right.
the next few seasons, right? But what is it going to take for them, in your opinion, to actually get over the hump?
Wow. The Bucks, like I said, they made quite a few adjustments as far as roster.
Yeah.
Coming into the season, I thought that they were a little bit light, a little bit short, and I thought that Giannis was a little crazy to sign such a long-term contract with a team that didn't put the right pieces around him. But they went out there, they tried to do their best. They went ahead, got Jrue Holiday, PJ Tucker. They had that botched trade for Bogdan, I believe.
Right.
But at this point, if they do, go back home, go fishing, as they say, what can you do? It's going to be tough. I mean, even with it as it is, I believe that they traded away most of their assets just to even get here.
Yeah.
What can you do? I think you got to change the coach.
Well, yes, definitely change the coach. I agree with you. I think you hit it early in regards to that sounded crazy. Pause. You had you had said earlier that they need a playmaker. Like, I think it would
Right.
make sense to move Jrue off the ball, move him to the 2 guard, put Middleton at the 3, Giannis at the 4, and go get yourself like a real legitimate playmaking point guard. Now,
Floor
obviously,
general, right?
right now, obviously that's easier said than done because they don't grow on trees like that. But if that's something that they can be able to do, that would be definitely an upgrade for them to have Giannis not handle the ball so much. I'm tired of seeing him bringing the ball up and going 1-on-4. I don't need to see that from him. I need to see him dominate the paint. I need to see him get that ball in the mid post. Whether he's passing out of the mid post or he's facing up, going to the middle, doing a little step back, floater or a step back fadeaway, something like that. I don't need him handling the ball. You know what I'm saying?
That could be another thing. Maybe he goes back into the chamber and says, you know what? Instead of me going out here, I mean, I understand the league is going into, everybody's shooting threes. I totally get it. So everybody's moving behind the line. But why not? I mean, you're in the paint, you're 7 feet, you're faster, stronger than a few guys. Why not take advantage of those talents and maybe learn 2 or 3 moves in the paint?
Word.
You get some one-on-one situations, you're close to the basket. Forget all about this, follow through and whatnot. Just get back in the paint, and maybe you should go see Hakeem and learn 1 or 2 moves there. And who knows, that might be enough right there.
He need to go see Allen Iverson and get some yo-yos, man, because his handle is suspect. It's hard to watch. Like, listen, when you got Al Horford cutting you off, you got issues. You got big time issues.
He's got
Al
big man handle.
Like, come on, man. Like you dribbling like in 2K. Like when they got the big man handle, when it's like slow
Right.
and there's no
Right.
there's no blow by speed, none of that. It's just it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's bad. It's
Definitely.
bad.
Well, switching gears, man. Switching gears. Chauncey Billups is the new head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. There was some.
Congrats.
There was some press, some backlash about the move because he had some sexual allegation way back in the mid 90s. And he just recently hired Scott Brooks on the staff. What are your thoughts about the Chauncey Billups hire and also, Scott Brooks actually joining the team?
Big move. I think Chauncey. Well, I'd like to take a step back and say, I thought it was a little surprising. I thought that they would look for more of a seasoned coach.
Right.
Being that they have Dame Lillard, he's getting the guy who's been in the league, looking to take the next step when it comes to winning. I thought they were going to look for a new coach. So I was a little surprised that they went with an inexperienced coach, but
Right.
he does have some assistant coaching experience. But that one was a little. I think that Chauncey was due for a job, an opportunity, either way. But I just thought that particular opportunity was. It just took me by surprise a little bit.
I agree.
As far as the coaching, that was another thing. Nothing against Scott Brooks. Scott Brooks had some good success out in Oklahoma City with, James Harden and so KD. But I thought that maybe, I heard that Lionel Hollins, Mr. Hollins was one of the people that he was considering. I thought that might have been a better fit.
Yeah, he better not touch Lionel Hollins. He better not touch Hollins.
I thought that was a better fit just because Lionel Hollins had the grit and grind, a few years back with the Grizzlies, and Chauncey coming from his days with Detroit and winning the title there. I thought that was more of a better fit, but Scott Brooks is a defensive coach, has defensive schemes. I'm sure that somehow, some way they'll maybe they'll figure it out.
Yeah, man, definitely. I agree with all the points that you said. It was a little, I was just like, okay, because I remember back in the day, Chauncey was looking for like a GM role, and then all of a sudden that morphed into him becoming the assistant coach of the Clippers. I'm just like, of course he would take a job in the basement to start off, right? So, now he's the head coach of Portland, and now he has Scott Brooks. Scott Brooks had interviewed for the Lakers, and I guess he wanted to go with Chauncey. So, respect to Scott Brooks. I think he's more suited to be an assistant coach, to be honest with you. He's had some success as a head coach, obviously getting to an NBA final, coaching Russ in 2 different spots, making the playoffs with Russ, in 2 different locations. So, he does have some experience, but his coaching, I would definitely give him as a head coach maybe like a C+. So as an assistant, I think he can bring a lot more to the table. So, Portland definitely does have a good assistant with Scott Brooks. But I wanted to ask you this, man. Dame Lillard is the conundrum, the enigma in this offseason. Like, he finally took questions today about the situation. Obviously, he's playing for Team USA, and they were going to ask him at some point. And he said that, nothing has ever come out of his mouth in regards to him wanting to leave, or, if there's anything that he has to say, if there's anything that is going to be done, it's going to be said to Neil, what's his name? Olney. The GM for the Portland Trailblazers. So
right.
He said that if there's anything that's going to be said or has been said, it's been said to Neil already. What are your thoughts on Dame? What are your thoughts on if he's going to leave? Like, what are your opinions? Do you think that he's going to stay in Portland, or do you feel that there is a chance that he does request a trade out?
I mean, so two sides to this, right? I think he's out of there, but two sides.
You do think he's out of there?
Yeah, I think that's why they brought in. That might be another reason why they brought in Scott Brooks, because of his relationship with Russell Westbrook, because of his success with Russell Westbrook, being a guy who's won an MVP, a lead guard in the league. Along with Chauncey, that might help deal with the guy, Damian Lillard, who is now your star guard in the league, who's looking to take the next step. But honestly, like I said earlier, I think that, this is a guy who's looking to go into the next step. I think he's looking for more of an experienced coach. And I'm not sure if those two, Scott Brooks and Chauncey, are going to be the ones to push him into that next stage. And,
damn sure ain't going to be Scott Brooks. You're right. Damn sure ain't going to be Scott Brooks.
So with that being said, I think that's another reason why he went on this journey, this trip to begin with, is to go ahead and play with other players, play with experienced players, experienced coaches, Eric Spoelstra, I believe Greg Popovich. So, he's getting that experience just to see what it's like. And I think coming back from that, I give you the trade deadline.
Okay.
I give it a trade deadline.
Keith with the hot take on the All Even podcast. He said that Dame Lillard doesn't make it past the trade deadline next season. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
I've heard
man,
this way too many times before. The
that is
Dwight
true.
Howards.
That is true.
I've never said that. It's got to come from me. It's, you know what I mean? I've heard this all before. So
right. The Bill Clinton line. I did not have sexual relations with that lady. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, listen, man. I'm with you, bro. I get the feeling that he is not happy there. But it's not the fact that he doesn't love Portland. He loves Portland. I think that's what's bothering him, is that he loves the city and the team so much that he's willing to stay longer than he should. Because the thing is, here's my take, and I loved your angle. My side of it is that although they got a new head coach, although that maybe Terry Stotts needed to go and they needed to find another voice in that huddle,
right?
The problem is that the roster. How are they going to improve the roster? Because Nurkic had came out a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was a month or two ago, and said that he was told by management that they're not going to make any roster decisions. All they're going to do are roster moves. They're going to improve the coach. They did that. They changed the coach, but it's going to be the same team coming back. So if that's the case, then how much better can you expect this team to be?
Right.
Like, a head coach is really, really important. Absolutely. But if the pieces are the same, if these pieces don't fit right, then how much can a head coach do with those pieces? You know what I'm saying?
I think that this team is a good team.
Yeah.
But in this league, you got to be a great team. I think they're gonna win games. I don't want to take anything away from Chauncey. I think they're gonna be, a good match actually. But just the type of success that I think that Dame is starting to feel like he's missing out on. I feel like he's gonna want to take that step out.
Right.
You see guys like him, Bradley Beal, they're trying to make things work. You saw this a few years back with Carmelo, to where it's a loyalty thing, but I don't know, man. Something tells me that the Dame's gonna look for some greener pastures pretty soon.
That's fair. But here's the $1 million question for you. Does he demand a trade, and where does he go?
Wow. Yeah. For things to get there, he's going to have to officially demand a trade. Between now and the time that we get to that trade deadline,
right?
Where does he go? I mean, obviously the first pick, is going to be with. You got to say Brown.
If you say I was just about to say to you, if you say Knicks, I was going to kick you off this show. I was going to kick you off.
No. I think at this stage of the game, like I said, some of the guys, you notice James Harden, you notice the James Harden, the KDs of the world, the Kyrie Irvings, guys are starting to look for situations where they get to play with their buddies, or they get to play with other, talented guys. Not to say that the guys on his team are not talented, but I think he wants to play with guys that are really going to push the envelope. So I think after going to this USA experience, he's going to be playing with Bradley Beal, Jason Tatum. The list goes on. Where does he go from there? The first thing you want to think about is there anybody from the USA team that might be able to poach him? But
listen, people are going to be in his ear.
No, for sure.
You know it.
For sure. But I don't know. That's a really great question.
All right. If I have, I'm gonna, hypothetical, give me 3 teams. 3 teams.
So Damian Lillard. Why not? Maybe Miami.
You got Miami.
I'll take Miami. I'll give you Boston.
Boston, okay. I like that.
And probably, I would say the Lakers, but I just don't think that they have the avenue to get there.
Listen,
To get a Dame.
Don't start spreading propaganda out here. All right? Don't do that. Don't do that.
Never say never, right?
Never say exactly. When there's a will, there's a way. Okay, there's a will, there's a way. But okay, so you got Boston, you got Miami, and you have the Lakers as 3 hypothetical teams that Dame can be able to go to. Okay, that's fair. I can definitely see all 3 of those teams actually finding a way to make that work, because it really all depends on Dame, right? Because if Dame goes to management and says, I've been here for X amount of years, I've given you everything, I want to go here and just here, please facilitate a trade to this location. I would hope that Portland would respect his wishes and send him there. They don't have to, but if that's the case, if they go play hardball with him, then he's going to just, he can definitely pull the James Harden and really make things messy. I don't think Dame wants to do that because he's not that type of guy. So, he would, I feel that he would quietly go to management and ask them, listen, I would like for you guys to open up an exclusive window and speak to this team here, or speak to these 3 teams here. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, those are probably my biggest 3 threats. I think that those guys have a glaring need for that point guard position.
Especially Boston.
Yeah, Kemba Walker was a failed experiment, I guess. But they need a playmaker, man. They need a playmaker.
Definitely. Now, I wouldn't be me if I don't go on my Clippers corner beat down of them and just, I threw a parade party. I don't know if you've seen it. It's on YouTube. It's ridiculous. But I was very excited when they lost. Of course, everybody knows that.
Poor Clippers.
Yeah, no poor Clippers. No poor Clippers. All right. They get what they deserve. Okay, now here's my question for you in regards to the Clippers. Do you feel that there is a chance that Kawhi leaves the Clippers? Because I am at the understanding, or I feel that he's worked so hard to get here. I don't see him leaving, but the thing is with Kawhi is that he's such a question mark. Like, nobody knows what he's thinking, right? But so if you were gonna put a percentage on it in regards to him leaving, what would it be? Because right now I'm like 90-10 that he stays.
Yeah, I think I could agree with you. He went to management, the Clippers management, that is, and really pushed to make a team at his home in LA.
Right.
I highly doubt that he's gonna, make a panic move and go to the Heat, go around town. I don't think he's gonna leave.
Right. Okay, that's fair. And what are your thoughts about what do you feel they need to improve that roster, or can they improve that roster?
The Clippers, what do they need more? Bobby, no. I was gonna say Bobby Jackson. They have they have quite a few guys there. I think they still need a few pieces. Tyronn Lue's there. They got a little bit more from Paul George this year. Kawhi Leonard went down. I think they just need some more continuity. They had a few miscellaneous pieces this year. Batum. I think they need like one extra guy, man. I think they need one other guy to kind of really push them over the limit.
Right. Now I'm gonna be objective here. Like, obviously I'm talking about the Clippers and people know how I feel. I'm gonna be objective here and I'm gonna tell you exactly what they need to get over the hump. You ready?
All right.
They need to move to New Mexico. That's what's gonna push them over the hump. They can be able to be in their own building, have their own New Mexico fans, and be fine. Get out of Los Angeles. There's no room for you there. I don't want you anywhere near Inglewood. I don't want you anywhere near the old Forum. Just go. That's all they need to succeed. If they get out of Los Angeles, hey, they might be one of those expansion teams like in hockey in like Vegas. They're so good. They go to New Mexico. Hey, the Clippers may go ahead and win a championship, but just get out of Los Angeles. That's all. That's all I need from them. That's what they need to do. Hopefully, Steve Ballmer thinks about this and goes through with it. So that's what they need to do.
Abandon ship, huh?
Yeah. Abandon ship. Just get out of here. Just go. Just go. But let's go ahead and segue into your beloved Knicks. You are a diehard Knicks fan.
Shout out to the Knicks.
Respect to you because you never leave them, although you should. But they had a very good season this year. Very good season. Julius Randle, most improved player, had a rough playoff, and I am very critical of what the next step is for the Knicks and Julius Randle, because the type of season that he had, Keith, he's warranted a big extension.
Yeah.
Now, if you're the Knicks, do you look at this as, okay, well, we need to see more because this is just one season of this type of production? Or do you just dive all in and say, okay, we'll give him this extension and hopefully, he lives up to this contract? What are your thoughts about that?
No, I think shout out to Julius Randle. Big time season from you, brother. So I think the Knicks are gonna do what, I think it's gonna be business at the end of the day. In the sense that, do they like the kid? Yes. I'm sure that they want to max him out, but I think it makes sense for them to do maybe a similar deal to what they signed him to originally, which was like a 2+1 or 3+1 type of thing.
So you don't think they should go full 5?
No, I think he's gonna be a guy who stays with the Knicks. I think this is gonna be their guy. They need some more playmaking around him as well.
Their guy in regards to, you feel he can be a number 1 option, their guy?
No, I just think that their guy in a sense that
he's a piece.
Right. Like they're gonna keep Julius Randle. I don't think Julius Randle's gonna be the piece that they use to, make improvements. I think he's gonna be one of the core guys when I say that.
Right. Okay. I mean, that's fair. Like I said, I would be very hesitant if I'm the New York Knicks to give him a long-term deal. But the Knicks have some assets. They have 2 first-round picks in this draft, and they have an early second-round pick. Do you see the Knicks making a draft day trade to go get themselves a star? Because the free agent market right now it's very thin. If Kawhi Leonard ends up hitting the market, and obviously he's the best free agent on the market, but do you feel that the Knicks are going to be in the trade business this offseason? Do you feel that they're going to be able to go get themselves another guy to pair with the Julius Randle?
It's really hard to say. I think that the season that they had kind of gave them an extra problem. I think that the original course of action, it would have been an easy answer. You go out there and you get yourself maybe another young guy, Alonzo Ball, to bring along, who's the same age as everybody else, and do the same thing, get him on a short contract, and everybody learns and builds together. But it really accelerated this past season, and they made the playoffs. They made it all the way to the 4th seed. So now, you have the big New York fan base now just breathing down. Yeah. And it's just, it's, the New York GM in me, the GM business side of me is like, listen, I'd rather them keep, stay the course, get another young guy. If you can get somebody, I know the free agency then is kind of short this year as far as big time talent. You mentioned Kawhi Leonard. If he stays, CP3, if these guys stay, the Baron is pretty thin as far as what's available free agency wise.
Right.
So if they do want to make a move, they would have to go out there and make a trade to really make another step. But even there, it's kind of, wishy-washy, because we have, at the same time, we have some nice promising young talent. And it's a kind of a risky game, trading away young potential talent for a guy established like a Bradley Beal or a Damian Lillard or a Donovan Mitchell, maybe in a pipe dream. It's a risk at the same time, because you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's true. I mean, I saw some report that wasn't even really a report, but it's more like a rumor that Dwayne Wade is scared that Mitchell may leave. So
Right.
if he ends up requesting a trade out of Utah, which I can see happening, I don't see that it's gonna happen anytime soon. The Knicks will definitely be calling. You know what I mean? They'll definitely be calling in regards to Donovan Mitchell. But yeah, I mean, you make good points, man. I feel that the Knicks are in a decent position. If the free agent class was a little stronger, I think their decision would be easier. But the fact that the free agent class is not there, this big star-studded class, it has less pressure on them. There's less pressure on them to be able to go out there and spend money on a guy that is not available. There's no big stars to chase. So now they can be able to kind of like dictate who they want to go after, what assets they're willing to give up, because when you think about Mitchell Robinson, his contract is coming up.
Right.
There's a lot of young guys that they have. There's a lot of guys on this team that Taj Gibson's contract is up. You got Derrick Rose that's up. There's a lot of guys that they have to replace on this team if not resign them. So it's gonna be a big summer for the Knicks, man, to see how they can be able to improve this roster, because everybody knows around town, the Knicks need a playmaking point guard. They need somebody that can be able to score, get guys involved, and kind of push Randall down to where he actually belongs. I personally feel that Randall is a 3, not a 1 or a 2.
I agree.
If you have him in a 3, I think that's a very, very ideal spot for him. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree.
I'm interested to see it, man. If there was one free agent that you want to see on the Knicks, who would it be? Because you mentioned Lonzo Ball, but is there somebody else that you want?
Believe it or not, Kyle Lowry. I think Kyle Lowry is another guy that has been around the league for a few years, comes from the kind of close by the area. So I'm sure he kind of knows the area, New York.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm realistic. I know these guys are a little bit older. They've been in the league for a few years.
And he's gonna want that bag.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna want some a big time contract. So in that respect, New York does have somewhat of an advantage, because we do like to pay. But I don't know if he might be another one who's looking to play with more established players. Right now we still have young guys. We had a big season, but we have a lot of young guys. I think the oldest guy is maybe 24, 25, besides, the Taj Gibsons and Derrick Roses.
Right.
So, it's kind of, it's a tough, like I said, it's a tough situation to be in. I think the real course of action should be to stay the course, get another young guy. We need a wing for sure. I heard they're trying to, they were looking into maybe a Kelly Oubre trade. I think Frank Ntilikina is restricted. They have a lot of things going on.
Frank.
I had to throw that in there.
Frank need to go. He need to go somewhere. Burger King is hiring. China got leagues out there as well for Frank. So I don't. He's been a great disappointment in New York. Here's another one though. I want your opinion on this one. Would you take Dennis Schroeder on your team?
Dennis Schroeder. I respect Dennis Schroeder as a veteran. He's been in the league. He was on some of those Atlanta teams that
failed.
Were running the East, except when it came to the playoffs. Those guys were seasoned teams. But on another note, Dennis Schroeder to the Knicks, I mean, it would improve the scoring a little bit, maybe. But, again, I don't think that that's a guy who that would fit what they're looking for. I mean, they have enough guys who are looking at the rim to score. They need more of a guy who's able to kind of settle things down. They had a lot of times this past playoffs where guys were nervous, anxious, rushing and
Right.
doing extra things. And I think having a guy who's out there like, hey, slow down,
Cool it out. Cool
it out. I think having that guy out there, really makes a big difference. And I just don't think that Dennis Schroeder's that guy.
Yeah, I see. You just let me down, man. I'm desperately trying to get Dennis Schroeder from being on the Lakers next
Away
season.
from the Lakers.
How about we do a sign and trade? Dennis Schroeder, you give us RJ, you give us it quickly, you give us Mitchell Robinson, deal, right? Deal.
Why
RJ.
not, right? Why not?
Just
deal.
Deal.
It's funny you mentioned those guys. I'm a little nervous being a Knicks fan. You like the young guys, the RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson.
I'm still mad at you guys because Mitchell Robinson was going to be the Lakers draft pick until you guys moved up and drafted him before us.
I remember. Yeah, I think we came in maybe 2 spots ahead of you guys that year. 2 or 3 spots.
I was so excited. I said, oh, my God, Mitchell Robinson is going to drop to the Lakers. Let's go. And the New York Knicks select. I'm like, no.
It's funny, though. You mentioned the contract situation. It's going to be an interesting offseason.
Yeah.
We have 2 or 3 of those guys in unhappy situations on Team USA. Who knows if they decide, hey, let me go to management and say, hey, I want so-and-so on my team, or how could we do this? Or it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah, man, definitely. I completely agree with you. The Knicks are definitely going to be in the disgruntled superstar market. Whoever is whatever superstar says, I've had enough. I want out. Knicks going to be like, hello, we're calling here. Well, what do you want? What do you need? Talk to us.
Yeah.
We're willing to help you.
I think their best chance, if they are going to do that, is right here this summer, because I think right now they have the most funds, the most money they had in a long time.
Draft capital.
So, right. So what they could do is, who knows? Maybe they can make a big trade and pluck away some of those mid-tier guys off of the free agency market to kind of fill in, kind of build a team around whoever it is.
Right.
They might want to trade teams or change teams.
Yeah, I like that idea, man. Let's see exactly what the Knicks do. But moving on to the interesting soap opera that's ESPN right now between the whole Rachel Nichols and Maria Taylor situation. Like, do you know any like do you understand? Do you know the whole story, or have you just heard like bits and pieces of it?
No, I've only gotten bits and pieces of it. It sounds to be a little bit of it's funny to hear that these type of things actually happen behind closed doors, but no, I haven't gotten the full gist of what's been going on.
Okay, so I'll basically catch you up to speed, and then you can be able to give your opinion. So Rachel was on a hot mic. She was in her apartment, her hotel room, and was discussing ESPN's hiring practices and what they do and all the shady stuff that they do. And, she wasn't happy that Maria Taylor was kind of given this job opportunity that she felt that was contractually obligated to her. And she did say that, maybe she felt that Maria Taylor got the job because of the whole George Floyd thing, and she's, African-American and all that stuff. But she also said that, listen, I have no problem with you giving jobs to people for, other situations, other jobs. Just don't give them my job. And the thing with me is that I understand that, because think about it. You work in real estate. What if, obviously you're an independent person, but let's say the person that was running the company that you were at, and they end up telling you, hey, Keith, I know that you are on this big deal here. I know that you have this $15 million house that you're selling, but we want to give it to somebody else. We like for this person to have that particular commission. You're fine with that, right? No, you wouldn't be fine
Absolutely
with
not.
that. No, you wouldn't be fine with that. So it's like, I understand people want to get at Rachel Nichols because of she said that, hey, maybe she got the job because she's black or whatever it is. Like, hey, white people feel like that way, black people feel that way. We all feel that way when we get slighted or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But my issue is, it's not with Rachel, it's not with Maria. Maria didn't do anything wrong. She's just, she's a budding star. She's moving up the company. She's trying to get her opportunities. They offered her $3 million a year. I don't know if she's gonna accept that. I heard there's rumor, quote unquote, that she wants Stephen A money, which is crazy. But hey, shoot your shot, right? But
why not? Why not?
Yeah, but my thing is that I don't have a problem with Rachel or Maria. It's ESPN that I have the issue with. They've always had, diversity issues, and their hiring practices haven't been the best, and they've always had these little things go on there.
Right.
So it's like, it's time for them to clean up their act. Like, it's not, if Rachel has a job and she's doing that job well, and, you got to find a way to be able to bridge that gap. You can't just give somebody her obligated job if it is contractually written in her contract. Like, that can get messy. You understand what I'm saying? If that's the case, we're going to see what happens, what comes about this, in the coming weeks and months and so. But, that's my thing. I don't have a problem with Rachel or Maria. It's more ESPN that has my my criticism.
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback on that, I agree. I think that if it was something that was, something that was contracted, then yeah, I think she's, in every right to be mad about or upset or feel a way that something that she has a contract for is being done otherwise. So, there's definitely some explaining that needs to be done there.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like I said, it's all about how ESPN does things. Like, nobody. I work too hard for somebody to come to me and say, hey, due to certain social issues that are happening outside of the building, maybe we want to put this face here on this. No, not doing that. It's my job. Give him something else to do. I'm not taking my damn job. Get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I understand how people can, how she can feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were other people on that recording that were talking about Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. She didn't say anything about that. There were other people that wanted to kind of like, these lighter people always like to take certain times to stick that in there. You understand what I'm saying? Like, she's voicing her displeasure about being frustrated with ESPN in the situation, and here comes these other light people and say, those Black Lives Matter. Like, come on now. That's not what I told you. That's not what I said. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what I was saying. But of course, you're going to want to put that in there. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
It is. And that and the young lady, I think with the Olympics, I think she failed the drug test.
That's another thing. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, listen, here's my thing. I'll give you my point, and then I'd like to hear your side of it. The rule is stupid. We all know that, right? We all know that marijuana in the States is legal in so many different states now. You go outside New York right now, it's a different atmosphere. Like, it's loud, if you know what I mean. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember I stepped outside for like the first time in like maybe a couple of weeks, like really, really stepped out. And I was like, yo, where am I? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people just out there just smoking. I was like, yo, this ain't New York.
Right?
Yeah, it's just a big cloud, bro. I'm just like, man, this is wild, son. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we get that the rule is stupid, but this is an international committee. There are countries that still look at marijuana as an illegal substance. So you can't look at the committee and have them say, oh, well, Sha'Carri, she's a great sprinter. Like we're just gonna rules are rules. They're stupid rules, but she broke the rules. And the one thing that I liked is that she fessed up to it. She was an adult about it and said, listen, this is what I did. I own my decision. I did it because there was a lot going on in regards to her life. Her mother had passed. Rest in peace to her moms. So, there's a lot of situations, a lot of things going on in her personal life that, made that's why that happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you got all the people, boycott the Olympics. Like, come on, dude. Like, rules are rules. You can't go to your job. If your job has a policy, don't put fish in the microwave, and you come in with fish every damn day and they fire your ass, you can't get mad because a big ass sign says don't put fish in the microwave. Stupid rules, but rules are rules. You know what I'm saying? Like until their rules get better, then there's nothing that you can really do about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, rules are rules. So, you gotta have to go with what's been tradition,
Right. Definitely, man. Definitely. So I always like to end my interviews with a little rapid fire, where I ask some questions in regards to who you think is better than who. I'm not gonna debate you unless it's crazy. I may have to step in and interject, but normally I don't. So let me know when you're ready.
Let's go.
All right. Better player, Paul George or Tracy McGrady?
Paul George or Tracy McGrady? I think I'm taking T-Mac on this one.
You're going T-Mac. Okay. Better defender, Kawhi Leonard or Scottie Pippen?
Kawhi Leonard, Scottie Pippen. Boy, I think I'm gonna lean on Kawhi.
Okay. You're going Kawhi over Pippen. All right. Better trash talker, Gary Payton or Chris Paul?
Gotta be Gary Payton.
Oh, man. Better defender, Draymond Green or Dennis Rodman?
Oh, I think I'm taking Dennis.
You going Dennis? I'd go Dennis too. Definitely. Let's see. Better defensive big man, Dwight Howard or Rudy Gobert?
You can't disrespect Rudy Gobert. He's defensive player of the year. He done blocked the league.
This is my show. You know how I feel about Rudy Gobert.
No, Rudy Gobert, Dwight Howard. I'll take Dwight Howard.
You going Dwight? Okay, cool. Better hybrid point guard. What I mean by hybrid point guard is that they're listed at point guard, but they don't necessarily play the position like a point guard, right?
Okay.
Better hybrid point guard, Steph Curry or Allen Iverson?
Man. I gotta take AI.
You going AI? My man. I go AI too, man. AI was special. He was special.
Yeah, he was.
Not saying that Steph ain't special.
That was a tough one. That was a real tough one because I really like Curry.
But AI, man, he's another animal. Let's see, what's another good one? Better shooter, Ray Allen or Reggie Miller?
Oh, Ray Allen or Reggie? Boy, oh boy, those are two good shooters.
Yeah.
I might take Reggie.
Okay, you're going Reggie.
I'll take Reggie.
Even as a Knicks fan, you're going Reggie.
Yeah, because he's going to talk a little smack. He's going to talk a little smack along the way.
I respect it. All right. Let's see. Better big three. The Miami Heat, the Heatles with Braun, Bosh, and Wade, or the Golden State big three with Steph, Clay, and KD?
I like the original, the Heat, man, because the Warriors were cool. They had the super team as far as the 3 shooters on one team, but they changed that whole team and made it all about Durant with the Durant ISOs. The Heatles, they brought a real team concept around LeBron. They made LeBron the star, the main player, but I still think that they kind of made it a group effort still. So I'm going Heatles on that.
Okay, I respect that. All right, as a Knicks fan, hey, this is a tough one for you. I would love to know where you're gonna go. As a Knicks fan, if you were going to, like, if you were gonna not be a Knicks fan anymore, if you were gonna turn in your fandom, right?
Okay.
And you only had 2 teams to pick from. These are your 2 hated rivals. Who would you pick? Would it be the Boston Celtics or would it be the Los Angeles Lakers?
Wow.
You had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, I'd take the Lakers. Gotta take that. Gotta take that LA weather, man. That LA lifestyle, baby. I'm out there.
You're out there. Okay, that's cool. Better big man: Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Wow. Shaq is dominant. Hakeem did his thing. That was the dream. Nah, I'm keeping Kareem on my team.
You going Kareem, my man. I'm telling you, we going big cap. Going big cap, man. I definitely go big cap too. That sky hook, man, for 20 years. That was ridiculous. Definitely ridiculous. Okay, last one before I let you get out of here. Who is the better 2K player, me or you?
Yeah, I gotta say me.
Now this is my show.
Is 100%.
This is my show. You can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't disrespect me on my own show. Can't do that.
The people in the back, they really know what's going on. They know about those championship runs.
Listen, man, you got some decent championship runs. I'm not gonna hold you, but I still have the titles over you. Still got those. Still got.
Nah, you got the MVPs. I give you that.
Definitely. Listen, they need to rename that award. They need to rename that award after me. You know what I mean? But Keith, listen, this was fun, man. I appreciate you coming on, my dude.
Oh yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep grinding. Like I said, you'll end up selling that $15 million house before you even realize it, and then I'm coming for part of that commission because I was the one that supported you. So
right.
So just let everybody know your social media handles again and what you got going on.
Oh yes. For sure. You could find me at Instagram at 𝐤𝐨𝐽𝐾. Website 𝐤𝐨𝐽𝐾.com. You could make inquiries there. You could look up apartments, properties there, houses, multifamilies on that website. And yeah, we have a lot going on. There's like I said, there's a few other things I have working on in the background that still have to add some finishing touches to. So coming soon on that, but some merchandise, so on and so forth. A lot of things going on. But as far as your real estate needs, you could always find me at 𝐤𝐨𝐽𝐾 on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, www.𝐤𝐨𝐽𝐾.com. If you want to reach me there, you can. And yeah, that's me.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So look out for my man. Appreciate you coming on the show again, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, thank you, brother.
I'd like to thank my boy Keith for coming on the show. It's always good talking to him. He's a crazy Knicks fan and always believes that somebody's coming to the Knicks. I believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see it. Coming up after the break, the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week. On a Saturday. It's All Even.
This is Cigar Gents and Gals. Just want to give a shout out to All Even Podcast, the best sports podcast out there. Keep up the amazing work. Also check us out at cigargentsandgals.com. We're everyday apparel for cigar smokers. Let's get it.
What's going on? What's up with you? It's your boy, the Candyman, the ALFRE to the D. It's your boy, Alfred from the Rap Lab Podcast.
And it's the one and only True G. Just call me the QG from the Rap Lab Podcast.
And you tuned in to All Even with Barry Grant.
boy, that shit crazy.
Welcome back, y'all. So without further ado, the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
We pick candidates on Tuesday and Saturday, and then we pick the winner on that Saturday show. I am so excited to talk about this winner. I just want to get into it. May I have the drum roll, please? And the winner is 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐿 Kuzma. 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐿 Kuzma, forward for the Los Angeles Lakers. 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐿 Kuzma is my winner for...
Dummy, yeah.
Because, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐿 Kuzma thinks that he's better than what he is. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with, like, thinking highly of yourself and, wanting to be better and aspiring to be great. Nothing wrong with that. Here's what I have a problem with, though. He sits down with Bleacher Report and he says to Bleacher Report that he wants a bigger role next season, blah, 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 blah. And that's fine. You can be able to dissect that if you want to. It then says that, certain things happen throughout the season, guys in and out of the lineups, blah, blah, blah. You can be able to dissect that as well. Not a problem there. He said that he's turned himself into a great defender. Okay, like, I can be able to say something different, but not completely egregious. Here's where things go left. They asked him a question about him being able to be like a 20-point scorer. And he says, yes, I can be able to be a 25-point scorer given the opportunity. Given the opportunity. I can't even say it without laughing. 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐿 Kuzma thinks that he could be able to score 25 points on the team. Yeah, if you give me 58 shots, I can definitely give you 25. And I definitely have a little bit more basketball IQ than 𝐤𝐤𝐿 Kuzma. Here's the problem with this for me, is that this is a guy that was anointed the third scoring role on this team. He was supposed to be that guy. LeBron, AD, 𝐤𝐤𝐿 Kuzma was supposed to be able to knock down shots and give you that scoring punch. Have we seen it? No, haven't seen it at all. Hell, we saw a series where he averaged 6 points against the Phoenix Suns. 6 points. But this is the guy that wants an expanded role. Let me tell you where you can get that expanded role. China. There's a lot of basketball teams that need players, and 𝐤𝐤𝐿 Kuzma would fit every one of those teams. You see, the thing is, when you start to believe in yourself a little bit too much and your work doesn't say that, your work doesn't translate into what you're saying, people are going to start to look at you really, really sideways. A guy that can't throw an entry pass to a center. A guy that can't throw an easy lob pass to somebody running right next to them. A guy that continues to make basketball mistake after basketball mistake after basketball mistake. But he wants an expanded role. That's like a kid that doesn't do their chores or is told to take out the garbage, and he only takes out the garbage that's in the bathroom, but leaves the one in the kitchen, leaves the one in the basement, then leaves the boxes as well. That's not taking out the... Yeah, definitely. Don't scream at me anymore because I took out the garbage. I did my job. No, you didn't. No, you did. Look how much stuff I can be able to point to say that you didn't throw out. What's wrong with you? Use your brain. I'm going to use my eyes as well. You know what I see when I look at him? He could be able to give me probably 85. But in the NBA, he's not giving anybody nothing. To be bad at your job amongst your peers. It doesn't matter what I think, right? I'm not a basketball player. I'm not an NBA player. But you don't stack up to the other dudes. This is why the Lakers want to trade you. And I'm telling you, if you people thought that I threw a party when the Clippers lost, let that breaking news ticker come across my phone or the screen and I see Kyle there, I'm gonna lose it. Because I would have traded him for a gym bag, a locker key, a $25 gift certificate to Olive Garden. It didn't matter. Kyle Kuzma just can't be a Laker anymore. That's my wish. That's my only offseason wish, is for him to not be on the team. So hopefully this ends up happening. Hopefully these words go to Rob. They work something out. He gets traded to Siberia and everybody's happy. Everybody's happy, including myself. So I won't have to speak about Kyle Kuzma anymore. At least not on my team. I don't want him here anymore. Go somewhere else. You're Dummy of the Week. You're going to be Dummy of the Week on somebody else's team, not on mine. The man said that he could average 25 points a game. I'm telling you, just like that rec dude that said, I could have played league if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? It's just, certain circumstances happen where, the coaches, they didn't really like me. We didn't get along. So, and then my excuses after excuses after excuses. Your poor play has made the Lakers think about trading you for the last few seasons. It has nothing to do with anything else, so you can continue to blame the role. You can do this, okay. But if you showed them that you can do it, maybe they'd give you a chance to show it. But all you've shown is the ability to dribble the ball off your foot or go for a layup and it slams hard off the backboard. Like, these are things that you've done. The Lakers haven't done that to you. So maybe, just maybe, we'll both get our wish this offseason. So Kyle Kuzma, you may feel a little unwanted there in Los Angeles. And hell, you're probably right. But you're a winner for Dummy of the Week. That's all for this show. That's all for this week. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. But until then, stay safe, stay cool. Peace. You can catch me on Instagram and Twitter at All Even Podcast. Listen to the show on Podbeam, Amazon Music, Spotify, and wherever you find your podcasts available. And check out my YouTube channel, All Even Podcast. And don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button.